Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review. I'm going to be discussing Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 9. It was a hoot, it was a holla, it was a scream. They out there in Palm Springs, they call it thermal. They did a lot regarding Bronwyn and Todd's anniversary. But you know what? Before we even really get into it, let me thank you for tuning in again. I appreciate you for coming by. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and share. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers and about 880 away. That ain't too bad, huh? Yeah, okay. Well, hey, you know, what can you do when you're beginning? This is how you begin, right? You just do what you got to do. But again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. You know, just the FYI, I review pretty much all the Housewives shows, Belle Collective on OWN, Love and Marriage Huntsville on OWN, The Equalizer on CBS. Me and my girl Erin, we are finishing up the Selling Sunset Season 8. Final episode is going to come through soon. Also, if you're any Drag Race fans, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 10 is coming up. I didn't see a release date, but I did see a picture. And she looked fierce. OMG on that cover. I can't wait. It's going to be All-Star Season 10. So, you know, they're going to be bringing it. Oh, I wonder if Q comes back. I loved Q, especially when she came through with all the houndstooth. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna reach out to Q so she can make me one of them outfits, child. That houndstooth was it for me because I love me a good houndstooth, a good pleat, a good argyle, child. Now if I can get all, now I can get all three of them in one. Now if I can get some pleats with some houndstooth or some argyle pleats, child. I'm gonna look for some. What, you think she ain't got some? Or what's the other thing? Fashion Nova. I'm about to find out because, child, I listen. I would wear houndstooth every day if I could. I actually went and got me a houndstooth sweater, and I thought that was really cute. Ooh, and this skirt. Anyway, yeah. Let me get back to this review, child. So, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, where we left off last week, right? They're still out there in Thermal celebrating Bronwyn and Todd's anniversary. I think it's 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Honey, Todd don't play, like I said last week. I'm Team Todd and Team Bronwyn at this point, except that nasty house. Clean up, please, because you embarrass me. Yeah, but yeah, this is pretty interesting because where we left off, Todd had gave John an ultimatum. Some of your wife got to stop or y'all got to go. And John was looking at him like, I don't want to leave. Child, it's just the way his face was looking. I mean, what can you do when the host tells you that, you know, you've been acting real out of order and he's not used to it? You know, he's older. Everybody say he's old. Well, yeah, he's older, but at the same time, this is his anniversary. But what Todd don't understand is this is what happens on these shows. Perhaps Bronwyn didn't give him a good synopsis of what he was getting into. Because he don't look like the type that would have viewed the show and said, okay. So I think Brown may have tricked him a little bit into thinking this is going to be good for them, good for her, whatever the case may be. But I think Todd regretting it because what's the people called? The production asked him in a confessional about, doing it again. He was like, get somebody else to do it. Not the kid. But, he said in a very staunch conservative way, child, like, never in a million years. No, I don't blame him. If I'm coming into a situation I've never been before, y'all acting like buffoons and I'm supposed to, y'all supposed to be celebrating me and y'all arguing over some bull when y'all could have had that conversation outside of the celebration part. I mean, they don't film 24/7. How about you argue on your own time? I know that's right. But anyway, back to the show. For real, for real. So pretty much John explains to Lisa what the message was from Todd. And, then he suggests speaking to Bronwyn alone because it seems like when people get involved, they seem to sway Bronwyn a different way. John, please, that's your wife, but you don't want to say because you're scared of her. I'm just saying. Lisa runs Johnny, and it's obvious by how she talks to him, how he responds to her, like everybody else is wrong but her. For instance, just like 2-3 episodes ago when she came running up at Justin and he cussed back at her. Well, it may not be the polite Mormon thing to do, but Justin ain't Mormon. And I understand you don't want nobody cussing at your wife, but you also need to check your wife about approaching a grown big old man when she's really mad at his wife. So, and we didn't see that. I don't know if you have a pact that you don't address each other on the camera, but we think it's pertinent that you at least mention, we had a discussion and I'm sure that it won't happen again. How about that, John? Are you watching? You watching and listening? If anybody know John, have him watch this part. John, address your wife. She's out of order, like Todd said, maybe not to that staunch extent. Semicolon, however, comma. Your wife was out of order, approaching a big old grown man, yelling and cussing at him. So, again, he's not Mormon. He's not you. And of course, you're going to stand up for your wife. That's fine. But you need to address your wife for her erratic, trifling behavior. So back to the issue in Palm Springs. So pretty much, like I said, John suggests speaking to Bronwyn alone. I suggest the same thing because everybody can't keep getting in the middle. And Lisa just, deflects. And I think Lisa really doesn't want to own up to her mistakes. That seems to be a running thing with Lisa over the last 5 seasons. Just saying. Then, of course, Lisa blames Whitney for getting in the middle and causing issues between her and Bronwyn when Whitney ain't got nothing to do with that. It's pretty much between Bronwyn and Lisa and Bronwyn. So next they have lunch, and Lisa sits right across from Bronwyn. Everybody a little quiet, because of the issue, the blow up and everything earlier. And Lisa just starts talking to Bronwyn at the table. Didn't John tell her? See, when your husband suggests you do something, that's really him telling you to do it. It's okay. Because he's coming to her in a way that's not going to make her feel like he's, ordering her around. But in a sense, he was, because it was a suggestion, but really, you need to do this. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's okay. He's not trying to be anything else but a supporting husband. But again, it's how you deliver the message. I got it. Why didn't Lisa? She don't listen. She thinks she's a little self-righteous and thinks she's right all the time. I'm just saying. So while Lisa and Bronwyn are trying to discuss things, Whitney chimes in. And I'm like, so John pretty much stabilizes it, right? He just says, Whitney, how about you ask Lisa, was she involved? She asked Lisa. Lisa's like, no. He said, okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. Then he asked Lisa about Whitney, and she, and they pretty much just squashed it. He was just like, okay, that's it. Now you both had your turn. It should no longer be an issue because we're not going to get anywhere, pretty much. Just going back and forth about something that no one wants to admit that they're wrong. And no one wants to give the other the benefit of the doubt. And I'm with John. Listen, this your last time asking me because I said no. And I meant no. Okay. Woo-wee. So then we see Mary at the Hizzle. She goes up to Robert's room, he in there with that girl, wife, whatever she is, and they in the bed eating and carrying on, fully clothed, and they just looking like they got the munchies. I'm sorry, it do. They just in the bed, fully clothed, and how the room is a trifling mess. And she's asking him when last time he cleaned up. He said, "Oh, maybe." He's just so slow to react. Is something wrong with that boy? Is he like, I don't want to say anything wrong, but well, he is grown, so he old enough to take this criticism. Ramon, is this boy, is something wrong with his developmental stages? Because, or is he just high? I don't get it. And we all know that he checked himself into, well, he was checked into rehab recently, way after the taping of this. I hope he went voluntarily, because when folks on substance abuse or dependence don't check them in, what they're forced to do it's really not on their own will. So most likely it will fail. That is the statistic out there. And I really wish them well, because again, I ain't trying to, browbeat the boy, but I understand Mary. I understand I'm a parent too. Most of us are parents. Most of us aunts and uncles watching. It's just, difficult as a parent when you see your child struggling for whatever the reason. And we certainly don't want them struggling on substances, child. Oh my God. Woo. Anywho, so that was just a total mess. Pretty much she's asking them about their future and they're looking at her like, huh? Just crickets, birds flying, chirping. You can hear them. You can hear their feathers going back and forth. I'm like, what? And where are her people? She needs to go back home. Is she homeless? Where did the girl see? It's too many unanswered questions, and we really can't get them answered because this boy's on that stuff, and we can't really. Do we have to wait until the reunion to find out about this girl? Because she obviously signed a release. So what's really going on with her? We know what's going on with the Kazi, whatever their names is. What's going on with her? And where's she from? Is she a white girl? Is she light skinned? I don't know, child. I'm just trying to figure out who she is. Where her people from? You know how we do. Where your people from? Mm-hmm. Where? Mm-hmm. You know how we like to investigate, especially as mothers and females. We have a built-in PI system within us, child. I don't know. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. Got my notes, child, making sure I don't lose spot. So I left off as, where are her people? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So next we see Todd and Bronwyn. It's their anniversary party, and they're having fun introducing the cast to their friends, their loved ones out there, having a real good dinner. They got the mariachi. They got the big signs and all of the to-do. It's very nice. She got on that $4 million necklace. Was she wearing the earrings? What's going on? You might as well get the earrings. They only 1.4. Now, if the necklace was 4, the studs got to be bought. This only 1.4. Child, that necklace was huge. It looked good on me though. Ooh, the bigger the better. I'm just saying. Ooh, that necklace was beautiful. But I just think it was a little big for her. I think it would look better on my neck. It would. I'm just saying. Anyway, so the night goes on, and they Angie brings out this game, this not so newlywed game, and they're asking these quite private questions. Now I thought it was a little rude for her to not have. Of course, she didn't know that many people were going to be there, but I just thought it was rude for them to play in front of the people who couldn't play. I think she should have waited until the guests leave maybe I know she wanted to, make a scene and be involved and everything and make a good impression. But I think maybe she should have waited until it was just them, maybe to bring it out to subdue a real heightened conversation. Okay, let's play a game. Let's, just decompress and do something else, direct our attention. Maybe that would have been a better idea because I was uncomfortable. Like, wait a minute, if I was a guest, not on the show at that dinner party, like, well, what am I supposed to do while y'all play games? I'm just saying, because don't leave me out. I came all the way over here and I can't play a game. But Meredith did offer her little easel board to play because she wasn't really in the mood to play games, child. I don't blame her because she had to get some off her chest that we're gonna talk about a little later. So they play a game, and then pretty much they're taught. Of course, the questions asked: Who at this table do you least like at this time? And people said who they said. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Bronwyn said Lisa. Whitney said Meredith. I thought they were getting along. Where'd they leave off for her to say Meredith? I would have thought she said Lisa. Talking about Whitney. Justin said Lisa. I was like, oh, Justin said Lisa. I'm just like, oh, okay. So anyway, so pretty much Whitney asked Lisa if Justin, do you think Justin still owes you an apology? She said yes. And then Justin pretty much got it in with, I probably could have spoken to you a little softer. I was a little, harsh. So I apologize for that. And then Lisa apologized for what she did, which is great. She should apologize first. But, she's self-righteous and she thinks she's the queen and she thinks she's owed something and she's not going to do anything until you do something. Ooh, tit for tat, old heifer. I can't stand that. Ooh, no, baby. We couldn't be on the same nothing because I would have had to tell her something. And it would not be cute. I don't like people like that. What else happened at that moment? So after that was squashed, then Meredith felt the need to, not buck up, but she had to let Shawn know that conversation they had the other night, where she apologized, even though she said she didn't say nothing wrong or do nothing wrong. And because she told him what he said on the podcast about her son Brooks, hurt her feelings, she's expecting an apology. And then he came with, well, we left that conversation good. So, it kind of bugs me that you want to bring it up now. I mean, why didn't you bring it up then? And she said, well, it bothered me. It still bothers me. And he was like, well, I'm sorry that it bothers you, but Shawn wasn't having it. Shawn was like, well, pretty much that's the you problem. That's pretty much what Shawn said. Because Shawn said, I ain't giving you nothing. Like I told you then, like I told you now. I did not say anything about your son. You took what I said and made it about your son. Like that was the issue or the basis of the conversation. Then it's you twist things and then you think there's something, and next thing you know, it's an issue. So pretty much, Shawn was like, I'm willing to move forward, but I don't owe you an apology. I don't feel I do. And she just like shaking her head. Really? Mm-hmm. Mm. I don't know. I just think, Seth should have stepped in and, got a little more, interesting with the conversation like he did in a few minutes. Because when Shawn was like, I didn't say anything, and Meredith was like, yes, you did. And Whitney kept saying, show the proof, Meredith, show the proof. Whitney just need to mind her business and stick to her own arguments, because she egged that on to where Seth pulled up a random article where they just one article, not to say that there was more, but Seth pulled up an article online that pretty much was the basis of Meredith's, and Shawn and Seth's anger. And then Seth was like, here it is, biatch. And, like I didn't know at first the way the cameras were angled exactly who he was calling a biatch, but he was talking to Whitney. And she's like, you talking to me? Yeah. And Justin just sat there. Didn't say a word. Didn't say a mumbling word. It was a hush over Jerusalem. You hear piss off. Like, what? I was waiting for Justin to get up. Because, see, like I always say, you cannot use the B word with me or my man. And I know for a fact, my man won't allow nobody to say that. Ooh, another man? It would have been table turned over for my man to go over there and break every tooth out of his mouth. Let me tell you, Seth would have needed the dentist. No, he would have needed an orthodontist. Had I been Whitney and my man was sitting right there, child, they would have needed. I don't even think they have what do you call it? Security on that show. They would have needed it after the end. They would have needed the jaws of life. Let me tell you. I'm gonna just tell you this real quick thing. One time I was taking a train to work, and the security fool was like, harassing me. I'm cute and everything, so it's gonna be what it be. And he was trying to figure out where I was going. I was like, none of your business where I'm going. I'm going where I'm going. He want to see my ticket. Like, what for? I check everybody's ticket. Say, you ain't checking theirs. Why you checking mine? Tall black man. Tall, dark, and handsome, just like I like, but I got somebody, thank you. Ring on the finger and everything. This was years ago. And I just remember, so I immediately called my husband. I'm like, hello, this dude harassing me about where I'm going and yada, yada. He figured out where I'm going. And now I don't feel safe because, it's dark and time changed. It's about this time. Because, it was like in the fall, it was cold. You know how we'd be all bundled up and stuff, trying to get to our seat on the train and everything. So, he just made it a point to try to know where I'm going. Child, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. My man got over there. Now, mind you, we're talking about a good 30-minute drive. He got there in 15 minutes. Now, my train was leaving in about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm trying to hurry up and everything. And he bothering me and carrying on. And I didn't, just, pressing me for my ticket. Child, as soon as I left from him, I immediately got on, this man, right? Yeah, so-and-so, described it and everything, right? So I'm on the phone with my man. All I hear is the engine turn on, the door slam with the car. Now, first I heard the front door slam. I'm on my way. And I said, good. I don't have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Girl, child, let me tell you. I'm on the phone listening to my man talk to that security. And then the other security guard came over because my man was about to beat him down for harassing me. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Justin, that's a lesson for you, sir. If you're listening, watching, listening. I don't you ever let nobody call your wife a BI, especially a man. Child, how you gonna buck up to Lisa, but here is another man calling your wife a biatch? I wish I would. That got me a little hot. Let me drink some water. Hold on real quick. Shoot, Justin, if you don't get up and do something, he just sat there with his mouth open. Did y'all see that? Did y'all watch it? Child, can I go back and watch it? I was like, oh, heck no. Where was I? I done got all been out of shape and everything. Yeah, so Seth biatch and shows it to everybody, and everybody kind of in an uproar about, him yelling and carrying on. But like Shawn said, I didn't say nothing about you. And what that article interpreted is not what I said. So pretty much they're mad at the article and thinking that's what Shawn meant. But he said it over and over. He said it over and over. That's not what I meant. I would never disrespect your son or even mention it, but you seem to want to bring it up as some type of victim, pretty much weaponizing your victimhood or something. So it's just Shawn was reading her for filth in his own way. And I'm sorry, but Meredith, you didn't look too good in that situation, nor did your man. Y'all may need to sit with some people and learn how to read and accept, just to know how to deal with folks in the conversation, because it don't sound too good. You good for telling somebody how you feel, but in that situation, that should have been easy to resolve. But it didn't make it easier with Seth calling folks a biatch, and you seemed okay with it. So I guess. Woo, child. What else going on, child? Yeah, Whitney was real mad in her confessional, talking about she wanted to leap across the table. No, your husband should leap across the table while you sip on your wine and watching. And making sure Meredith don't jump in, because you got to jump in too. Just saying, hey, that's how it go, y'all. Ain't nobody, listen, everybody say I don't condone violence, but sometimes you have to condone a little violin for principality's sake. It's the principalities of it all. You know what I'm saying? Just like when folks yell and scream, sometimes people need to get touched. And sometimes a good slap in the mouth is good. It ain't a sock, but a good slap in the open hand, slap in the mouth, or backhand. Don't you ever talk to my wife like, and when you say ever, that's when your backhand touched the lips of the person who disrespected your loved one. I'm sorry. That's my rule in life. And again, this is grown folks conversation. Ain't no kids around. We ain't talking about no cheering. So, this is how grown folks is. Again, it ain't even about having a fight. It's just the principalities of it all. Justin should have been on Seth, leaped over the table, did something for calling his wife a biatch. That's it. So Angie tries to change the subject and brings up Gwen reconnecting with her grandparents. And child, why she say that? Them deadbeat absentee grandparents. Then pissed Todd off. Y'all done already ruined the whole weekend. Now you want to add insult to injury. And she didn't know it was a soft subject. And Todd was like, no, we're not going to talk about that. And, pretty much shutting all that down. And his wife too. And she's just trying to trying not to have him have the last word that was so harsh. You know how the women do. They try and fluff it and make it, just like my husband said. And then she comes in with the more softer touch to what he said. Girl, Ty said what he said. He told you to hush. So everybody looking like, oh. So they got a little whiff of, a little bit of his, wrath, I guess, maybe. But like I said, I'm Team Bronwyn, Team Todd, until proven otherwise. So next thing we know, it's the next day, right? And they're at the IndyCar, like the NASCAR, but it's called IndyCar meet and greet, and they meeting all the folks, and this real strapping young man comes through, and the ladies like, oh wow, I'm like, all y'all have is married, what? And then Seth asked him, is he single, because he got somebody for him. He's like, I ain't single, I got a wife and kid. So pretty much he's trying to hook him up with Heather, but he don't know Heather like chocolate. Heather like what I like. Hello, Seth, I thought you knew. Maybe he do, and he just anyway. Seth, he way too. He need a gang of more pigment for Heather. Anyway, what's going on, child? Yeah, so pretty much Bronwyn tries again to speak with Lisa, but it's just too loud on them cars racing and carrying on. So she said, let's just finish this at the house. I'm sorry, this is just way too loud for me. So then they come back to the house, and Seth is saying his goodbyes. He pushed his trip a day later because when they got there, he told Meredith that he was about to leave because he got to leave first thing in the morning. She's like, oh hell no, what? So he pushed it back a day. So he spent a couple of days there, but he has to leave, and she knows it, and she's upset. But they can work the rest out. He's gonna be gone a whole week, so she's gonna be at the house by herself for a week, and wait till he come home. I'm like, dang, woo, child. I guess I couldn't do it. He got to be with me at least 5 days a week, child. I mean, well, no, 7 actually, because I like touch. I like to breathe and feel and smell you in the morning and at night and jump on it. I'm just saying, that's just me. That's just, that's just me. That's just me. What else going on with this thing? Church almost over. What happened? Yes, Seth saying goodbye to Angie and Shawn outside, and they find it strange that he, gave them such warm hugs after he didn't call the women a bitch. And then Whitney and Justin walk in with Angie and Shawn, like, astonished at how Seth, gave them a real good, nice goodbye. And then, oh, yeah, that was a little harsh. And Whitney's like, yeah, what the hell is all that about? No, back to Justin. He's still quiet. Why? So then Bronwyn and Lisa try again. They take another stab at it. So they finally have the convo with their feet and everything in the water in the pool. And pretty much Lisa tries to Lisa doesn't want to tell Bronwyn that she sometimes acts two-faced, like Heather said, claims, because Bronwyn felt like Heather was just totally out of order at her home and pretty much just didn't want to take any accountability whatsoever, none whatsoever. And she didn't. She just pretty much blamed Bronwyn for trying to trick her into apologizing to go on a trip. And girl, that's not even the case. Again, Bronwyn was being adult about the situation, and Heather was just being manipulative and deflecting much. You know what I'm saying? So then they pretty much make amends, and then they're all getting ready to leave. And Lisa finds out she's flying back home cold. She's like, oh, hell no. She, conversing with John, trying to get another flight. They miss their son terribly, but she's willing to risk more time away from her son that she misses terribly just to fly home coach on a 47-minute flight. Now, they're not flying private. I don't know why, but they're not. And everybody but Bronwyn and Todd are flying back first class. And Lisa could not get a flight. She could not upgrade. So she's hurrying up, trying to get to the airport so she can upgrade. And it really didn't, I don't know if that worked out, child. I guess we're going to find out next week if she got her upgrade or not. But that's pretty much it. But one thing about me, my seat is always 1D. Just saying. I like comfort, and I like a drink or 2 or 3 when I'm on that flight. So yeah, that was it, y'all, for Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5, episode 9. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I surely did talking to y'all. I hope y'all come back. And we'll see you again. I think the next review will be Real Housewives of Orange County up next. They will come out on Thursday, and that review will come out on Friday. How about that? All right, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with your folks. And I'll catch you next time. All day.